When Pokemon Legends ZA was officially revealed, we not only got the reveal that this game would be set in the Kalos region, but that it would specifically be set entirely within Lumiose City, which is kind of crazy. It's a Pokemon game set in one city, which we've never had before. Now, there's been some mixed reactions to this, but today I'm going to talk about why I think this could be a really, really good thing for the franchise and for Pokemon Legends ZA, as well as talk about a few things that I think we could see because of this decision. Welcome back to the Lumiose Post, where we talk about all things Pokemon, and today we're going to be talking about the wonderful idea that is, I was a little hesitant at first too, believe me, but to set Legends ZA entirely within Lumiose City and what that could mean. So I've talked about a little bit on the channel before, and I'll say it again, and I've also mentioned it on my podcast, if any of you watch that, the Him Power Podcast, but there are lots of things that they could include within Lumiose City that isn't technically Lumiose City. Like, for one thing that I think about is the route above Lumiose City, like on your way to Laver City, actually has a playground there, and you see that it's like a park that's like a part of Lumiose City. Likewise, the route in between Coumarine City and Lumiose City is literally called the Lumiose Badlands. So I say all this to say that Lumiose City could still include those routes next to Lumiose City, but even if they don't, I think this will be a lot of fun because it'll allow Pokemon to give us a fully fledged city, like, with a lot more life to it and stuff. It's something that we don't usually see in Pokemon games. In fact, one of the biggest complaints about Scarlet and Violet by a lot of people was that you can't even go inside buildings anymore. That was a Pokemon staple. Now, some buildings you can't go inside at all, and a lot of the ones you can go inside are just these little menu screens and not actually an interior of a building. So it's really cool to see Pokemon taking this step. Again, I know that, it's a little like, ooh, but it's just because it's new, guys. We gotta let them cook. We gotta let them cook, and EWOW we trust. But I wanted to get that message out, and I also wanted to talk about some places that I think could be incorporated into Lumiose City from the real-world Lumiose City, that is Paris, and exactly what they could do with those areas. Now, because I'm pulling from places that are within Paris, I'm going to have to say the names of these places, which are in French. And now, I'm a good old Southern boy. I barely pronounce English words correctly. Expect some butchering on these. I am really sorry. I promise I'll try. I have it, like, punched into Google Translate, and I'm listening to the audio, and then I'm repeating it. But yeah, let's just go ahead and get into it with one that I am comfortable with saying, and that is the Paris Catacombs. This is something that I feel like fans have been talking about ever since Legends EA's reveal, right? That, oh, they could do the Paris Catacombs. What are the Paris Catacombs? They are these, if you can believe it, catacombs that exist under the city of Paris. Now, they kind of have a dark history. These catacombs are literally, like, lined with human skulls, and there's a lot of urban legends and supposed hauntings that happen down here. They're a pretty scary place. Now, Pokemon is, at the end of the day, a game for all ages, which includes children. So, I don't know if they would go full-fledged with the whole, hey, dead bodies everywhere. I don't think they'd do that, but I do think that they could incorporate this underground area and maybe even still have it be like a Pokemon cemetery. I mean, we do see a lot of skulls that are very prominent in Pokemon designs, like with the Cubone line or the Volibile line. So maybe they will still do something and just kind of make it a little less dark, right? But this could be a really cool place to explore. You can find a lot of ghost-type Pokemon or Pokemon that kind of burrow, like Diglett or Drillbur down here, as well as just a cool place for lore, right? Because, like, why is there a giant Pokemon graveyard under Lumiose City? Could it be because of the war that happened in the Kalos region? Could it be because of that? I don't know. It's purely speculation. We don't even know that they're doing this, but there's a lot of potential for that, both in giving the game more area, because these catacombs are, like, all under Paris. So it would basically be like the size of Lumiose City, just underground. So like an additional Lumiose City, right, in a way. And then also just the lore factor in that and the finding Pokemon factor in that makes a lot of sense. Because that's actually been a big question we've had too, is that if the game's set entirely within Lumiose City, how exactly are we going to encounter wild Pokemon? Because, sure, I can see myself seeing some wild Pidove or Fletchling or maybe even the occasional, like, Scatterbug in Lumiose City, but it's going to feel a little weird seeing, like, a Gyarados in the canal, or seeing crocodiles just, walking down, ordering carrots or something. I don't know. That seems a little weird to me, but I think that this next place will actually explain exactly how Pokemon could do that. And this place is, and this is another one where I'm going to attempt the pronunciation, and it's probably going to be very, very bad. This place is called De Thermopolis. De Thermopolis. That's the best that you're going to get out of me. But this is an area of Paris that is just honestly really pretty. It's just your regular, like, street or whatever, but plant life has really overtaken this. Like, you'll see a lot of ivy and vines just growing through any crack it can find in the cement or the buildings, and this vibe just really, like, speaks to me. It reminds me a lot of, like, if anybody's seen Zootopia or maybe the movie Elemental, how there are, like, different neighborhoods and they're themed around, like, the animal, or in Elemental's case, the element. It kind of reminds me of that, and I could see maybe something similar with this with Lumiose City, like there being a village that's like this, or a neighborhood, or a section of Lumiose City that's like this, that's overgrown with all these jungle vibes, and now it makes a little bit more sense why I might see a Pansage swinging around, or see, a lot of scatterbug everywhere. That makes a lot more sense. And then, likewise, you can take this idea and expand on it and say, okay, well, there's also a desert area, and that's why there's crocodiles walking around eating carrots, and hippowdons, and all kinds of stuff. You can expand on that idea and easily see how that could become a bit more plausible. And this place, I think, is a great example of what, like, a jungle area could look like. I really, really like this, and even if they don't go this route with the game, like, even if they don't do, little Pokemon neighborhoods, I still would like to see this place, because honestly, guys, look at it. It's really pretty. Next up, we have an obvious one. I'm going to be honest. I don't even really know what to do with this one, but Notre Dame. I feel like you got to have Notre Dame in there. I'm surprised it wasn't in the original Kalos games, Pokemon X and Y, but here we have a chance to put it in there. Come on, you got to do it. It's just such a big part of France, and it's a big part, like, it's, speaking as an American who has never been to France and has, like, no ties to France, Notre Dame's, like, one of the three things I think of when I think of France. I think of the Eiffel Tower, I think of the Palace of Versailles, and I think of Notre Dame, so I feel like it's got to be there. The Louvre also, I do think of the Louvre, but that's already in the game. But yeah, come on, Notre Dame, it's got to be in there. You can speculate on what it can be. It could be another random church, like in Hawthorne City. It doesn't have to have, a plot to the game, but also it would be cool if, like, maybe it does, and maybe we go in there and we learn about some new religion, about a god Pokemon that starts with A, which I guess could be Arceus, but I was trying to allude to the A and ZA, but maybe that is Arceus. Boom, there's a whole theory there. We are on fire. Let's keep going. Next up, we have the Pont des Arts. I think that's how you pronounce that, but it is also known as the Lovelock Bridge. So this is a little bridge in Paris. It's actually a really cute tradition, but people will take a little lock and will write, their name and their significant other's names, and they will padlock it to the bridge of Pont des Arts, or the Lovelock Bridge, and it's just like a cute little good luck thing. Like, hey, if you write your name on this lock and you put it on the bridge, then, you'll always be together and be happy. I don't know what the divorce rates of people who are on this bridge are, but, you can debate that in the comments, whether it's real or not. But I think that this would be nice, just because, while it's not heavy to the story, I think it represents the Kalos region very well. The Kalos region is a very beautiful and very kind of romanticized region, and so I think this hammers that home. And also, too, one thing I look for in Pokemon games is kind of immersion and world building that doesn't matter, right? Like, not these heavy lore bombs that'll impact the entirety of the franchise, but just small details about one little city, like how they say, that Floroma town was from this woman giving her thanks, and then likewise we actually see that play out in Legends Arceus. Like, little things like that aren't giant to the greater Pokemon universe. I love those kinds of things, and I think just having a little bridge where, there's a bunch of couples and they padlock their initials to the bridge to stay together forever, I think that'd be pretty cute. And maybe I don't know, it's a Legends game. Maybe we find Love Disc's Megastone here. Please, Game Freak, don't waste a Megastone on Love Disc. But maybe we do. Next up we have, and this one's really gonna hurt, guys, because it hurt me, Marché d'Aligre, which is this market that appears in Paris. Any Paris market will do, but this seems to be like kind of a big one in Paris. But I really think that they should have some kind of marketplace in Paris, you know, in Lumiose City, that is Paris, rather. It just makes sense. You're going to have this giant city. You got to have a marketplace. It's one thing that I actually really liked about Scarlet and Violet was the marketplace in Porto Marinara. Marinara sauce. I don't know. But I like markets. They just give the game more life, kind of like with the Lovelock Bridge. And I don't know. I'd be here for it. I also do think this can be a really beneficial thing to gameplay, right? This could be a place where maybe you buy some Megastones, or buy some items, or buy some crafting items if, you know, they bring back crafting from the previous Legends game. Or even, this could be a place where you maybe find some Pokemon that you can't find in the Kalos region. Like, a great example of this is that in Legends Arceus, you actually can get an Alolan Vulpix. There's a character who has some Alolan Vulpix that he brought with him from Alola. He came from Alola. And you can eventually get one of these Alolan Vulpix. So this is kind of a way to do that. You can have a random character who's like, oh yeah, I traveled to this market to sell things from the Paldean region. Do you want a Paldean Tauros? Things like that. And most importantly, this is a great way to get Galarian Farfetch'd into the Kalos region so that Sirfetch'd can get a Mega Evolution. It's all just a giant ploy to get Sirfetch'd to get a Mega Evolution. I don't care. I'd take it. Absolutely. But yeah, guys, be sure to let me know what you think of this list. Let me know some of the places you think need to be included in Legends EA from the real world Paris in the comments below. Like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, all that fun stuff. And until next time, I will see all of you later.